Hello, welcome back to this channel. I say welcome back, and I've just thought of a good tip. As I always say, I've only got 22 subscribers on this YouTube channel, so I don't know if I'm here to give out advice, and I spent a lot of time trying to remember the word advice in my last video, if it was in the bit that did cut out. But welcome back is quite nice because, you know, it's like it's wholesome and warm, isn't it? But I talked about last video. This video is going to seem quite vloggy because I'm just talking about the stuff like I normally do in all these daily videos. If you're new here, daily videos, that's worth remembering. That in the last the stuff that I come across daily and that I want to talk about, and obviously I always like to have something that's set in stone that I'm talking about, i.e. the title of the video, which I've not yet figured out. It might be Lego Star Wars community, maybe, I'm not sure. If it's not that, then I've just clearly changed my view on what I want to call the video. Just quickly talking about last video, obviously I had to go through a learning process of basically, because I tried to I attempted to make it 4K 60 FPS, recording it on my phone, and then found out that it didn't want to work because it used up all the storage in my phone, which is understandable. So I deleted a lot of videos, tried it again, uploaded it on YouTube after ages of trying to get it out, and then it turned out it didn't even want to let me you can't change the last video. If you look at the last video, you can't, which you should. If you look at the last video, it only says, at least for me on my computer, it's auto at 360p. So I don't know if that's something that is affected by how many subscribers you got. Because I remember back in the day, this is a bit of a quick little history lesson, that obviously you have to be like YouTube partnered to upload over 15 minutes. And now, obviously, I didn't have videos that were over 10 minutes, but when I made my TikTok New Year's resolution, or one of the videos after that, which is in the same format as this, which is it has a very podcasty feel. I obviously had to verify, you know, with my phone. So coincidentally, the same thing I used to upload all my videos. So it's a very basic setup, and I hope this wire has not been in it. I'm gonna have to find out at the end, because obviously I've got my camera flipped around to get the good camera, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if in my phone, but I know that in all my old phones, that once again, not an iPhone shout out, not an Apple shout out, they don't need any shout outs if anything, because everyone just buys their products. But you know, the front camera and the back camera always, they were very like, they would differ in quality, as I'm going to say. But so where am I going with this? So today I thought I would talk about, and as I just hinted, Lego Star Wars community. So obviously I always have stuff I'm thinking about, so I'm never too worried about having to make a video. And this one came out later than I'd hoped. I felt like, because I had quite a free day, that it could have come out earlier, but I was just relaxing. I made a lot of TikTok videos, which is where my main viewer base, and I do that because in my previous videos talking about TikTok, it's not a viewer base at all. It's random Brazilian and Russian people who have followed me and don't actually care about the content I make, so it's nowhere near like a community. But I do have a lot of followers that are interested in the Star Wars community. Thank you guys, if any are watching. They're probably not, that's understandable. But so today I'd talk about, I don't know if that ended like at a good point, but that last little tangent I was going on, if you will. There's tangents all over the place. It's like a trigonometry class, if you will. That was bad. So talking about, so I made TikTok videos today, and obviously stuff that I made the TikTok videos about was stuff that I'm going to talk about here. So call that rehashing content, if you will. But what I'm going to talk about is that I was literally just scrolling up my For You page, up my, you know, main feed of TikTok, if you're not aware of TikTok. But obviously if you know me through TikTok, then it's likely that you would, but not a lot of people know me because I'm still on 22 subscribers, and that'll come back into it. But so I was scrolling up and I saw this video, and it was like, and I had to make like a stitch, which is where you basically stitch your video onto the end of the video, and I imagine that's why it's called stitch, because it makes sense. The same way that a duet video on Facebook, on a duet video on TikTok is where you put one side by side. And I think because it was supposed to be like a singing app, like a dancing app that you would, you know, it's a duet 'cause it's like musical and whatever. Hence why it was called Musically before it was rebranded TikTok. And if you didn't know that, that's another bit of history. So I made this Stitch video because this video came up on my feed, and it was about Lego Star Wars TikTok community drama. Like, blah, 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 someone was stealing content from someone else, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, so I stitched it, and I had this Lego Darth Vader, which came in the set that my girlfriend bought me, which I don't know why I was about to look in my room as if it was here, but it was here, but I took it home when I went home for Christmas. Because it was an advent calendar, so I went home for Christmas, so obviously I needed to open it every day in Advent before Christmas. And this was the 24th day. It's quite cool. It's got the little Christmas jumper instead of his normal robotic torso. Big tangent. I was talking about the videos. Oh god, I might need to jump cut this before I remember what I was talking about. So I did have to check what I was talking about, and obviously you will now be seeing, but obviously this was a different video to me because I'm recording it on a separate video, and I'll jump cut it in iMovie because that's how I edit videos. Fun fact, it's not that, I don't put a lot of effort into them, but not that that affects the quality, if you will. But so I was talking about, now don't lose your train of thought, Colin. I was talking about this minifigure being in the video that was a Stitch, which you guys should remember because you haven't just forgotten what I've said. At least I hope not, but that's what I've forgotten. Hence why, you know. So I made the video, and I was just like, why? I didn't expect there to be so much drama in the Lego Star Wars TikTok community. Like, and I went like this, and I went, why can't we all just be friends, you know? Like, and it doesn't make sense when you think about it in terms of what it was. The problem was stealing content, and obviously that's wrong. I don't, you know, that's stupid. You know, you shouldn't do that. And it's in the same way that, and I'll go on a quick little tangent, that there's a big trend on TikTok right now, which I've also sort of dissed on my TikTok, which no one will sort of see. But there's a big trend where you basically just take any viral videos, like probably like 4 or 5, you take like a sound which is like a cool, motivational, incredible sound, like something that's like there's a sound on TikTok which I don't know if you know, but it's something to do like it's something like taken from Rocky, and it's like, oh, I'll be the greatest I ever was, or something like that. It sounds something like that. And you know, people upload videos where they're doing something great, like a cool trick shot or something. So you'll upload a video like that, and you'll put all these viral videos in, and people will literally just go like that in between each one is their reaction, and it's horrendous. And if you know what I'm talking about, I hope you have the same opinion. And so obviously that's stealing content. I've seen all these videos before. Imagine everyone else has seen these videos before. Like for instance, one of the clips, coincidentally, one of the ones that I saw in 2 of those videos today, in fact the only one that I can remember that was in 2 of the videos, it just leapt out at me and I remembered it, was the one where, I don't know why, but I feel like it was in Russia. It probably wasn't. But this kid is sat next to a girl on a bench, and he puts his hand on the escalator banister behind him and like slides over. I can do that better. And like slides over as like a cool sort of like smooth moment, you know, to like hit on the girl or whatever. Or like, well, not like that, but. And so I saw that twice, and it's that just reinforces my belief that it's so obvious and stupid that people can copy content like that. And you know, like if it was like a TV station like BBC or ITV here in the UK, if you just completely copy and pasted their like show and then put it on YouTube, you'd get like strikes straight away. Like and your account might be shut down or something. Or I don't know if back in the old YouTube drama days, but if there's still 3 strikes or something, it makes sense. 3 strikes, obviously 3 strikes and you're out. But you'd get, if someone like copy striked your video and then you also got done for, I don't know, saying something wrong in your thing, and then so you got 3 strikes and then your account would be like suspended or like deleted. But it just wouldn't work. And I remember actually, as a funny story, when the 2000, it was either 2008 or 2012 Olympics. I feel like it was the 2012 Olympics, because obviously that was here in the UK and everyone was watching it. And obviously Usain Bolt was already, he wasn't necessarily a big star after the 2008 ones. Oh, well, when the 2008 Olympics happened, but after 2008 Olympics happened, he was a mega big star. And so obviously it's more likely that it would have been everyone was watching him in the 2012 Olympics here in London. Not here in London as if I'm from London, because not every person in Britain is from London. But it was in the UK, obviously. And so I actually sort of, not screen recorded it, but like, I mean, I had like a capture card back when everyone was trying to be some sort of FIFA YouTuber, which I actually tried to talk about in my last video, the Storytime Sunday one, but that didn't work. But that story, or my sort of story of my process, or my understanding of how every kid has wanted to become like KSI and a FIFA YouTuber, will be in probably the next Storytime Sunday, because I want to do it, get it out of the way, and then do other ones, which I've got loads of them, more than the other ones. And so I basically, I'm glad I remembered this actually, because I went on a bit of a big tangent there. So I screen recorded like Usain Bolt crossing the line, and I remember I put it on YouTube with just one clip before it, or like I put music over it, and this would have all been on like Windows Movie Maker, so like the most basic editing you could do. Something like, I think it was from Space Jam. Are you ready for this? And then it was like Usain Bolt running. And obviously, that straight away, that got struck by like BBC. And so I remember like stuff like that does happen. But now I guess there's so much on the internet and so many different platforms that it's just hard. And especially when you're not like the man, like BBC, like a big corporation. Like, which I guess BBC are non-profit, but they're still a big corporation, you know what I mean? It's impossible to just like do that unless you actively go on the video, and you might not ever see the video, you know, like, so it's not necessarily going to work. But I think now talking about it, I'm going to call this video, I nearly said call this content, call this video Originality, because my main point that I want to get across in this video, and it's going to seem like there isn't a point because I've just rambled on for ages, obviously, but my main point that I want to get across in this video is that so many people, especially on TikTok and stuff, talk about stealing content and whatever, but that's when like there's like trends. And so I don't know if I just mentioned in the last video, and by last video I mean the before I jump cut in this one, because I forgot what I was talking about, but it might have been on TikTok I mentioned this, but Lego Star Wars community, on the Lego Star Wars community on TikTok is a very trend heavy genre, if you will. So like, for instance, I have the second most liked video in the Lego Star Wars challenge. And the Lego Star Wars challenge, which you can find if you don't have TikTok, in my TikTok compilation for 2020 video on YouTube, which is where it goes Lego Star Wars challenge. And I very coolly put as like a little intro for it, because it would go Lego Star Wars TikTok challenge, and then it would go to the actual challenge, which was make your own Lego Jedi, make your own Lego Sith, make your own Lego clone, make your own Lego bounty hunter. And I remember running up to my mum and I thought, oh, I've got a genius idea here, because I was home for Christmas at the time and I had all my Lego. So I took my Jabba's sail barge and I held it like this and I was rocking it like it's a baby. Genius, because it shows the connection between myself and my Lego, right? It needs no explanation. You can imagine how genius it is, right? And so I got the second most liked video on that. I mean, the guy with the most liked has like 80,000 followers, so it's no surprise he got like 23,000 likes. I got like 22, so I'm this close. I'm hoping one day I'll overtake him, so I can like print off on my trusty label maker here that I got for my 16th birthday. God, there's a lot of stuff I'm talking about in this one. Print off Lego Star Wars challenge, stick it on my WWE belt, which is over there, or WWF belt, because it is an old one. It's got the two eagles on it. Stick it on that belt and like raise it and be like, yeah, I won the Lego Star Wars challenge, look at me, I'm so cool. But someone could easily basically copy my video that did well, but the point is that I made mine so original. I basically, I sort of took the piss out of it, because I made them like quirky versions. So for the Lego Jedi, I used Johnny Thunder, which is a very famous Lego minifigure, where I basically just put his head and cowboy hat, which shows how jokey it was, on a Lego Jedi body. The Lego Sith, I had a giant from the minifigure series, the giraffe head. The clone I made with 2 heads, so I put like a plate on top of the body and then put 2 heads on. Incredibly original. And then I made, sort of spoiled it there, but for the bounty hunter, I made this banana man, where it's, if you do know, the banana man from the Lego minifigure series, but I even more creatively gave him like special type of legs, so it just looked even cooler. So, and the thought behind that was the fact that you've got the Lego banana, and I wanted to, because with the legs on it, it looks more like a man in a banana suit, which is what it's supposed to be. It's like banana suit man. But so I took the Lego legs off, and you can only see the banana, like big giant sandwich board piece. Shout out Rob for in his quiz, which he makes amazing quizzes. Did a Lego round, which I asked for actually, obviously, because look at me here explaining all this Lego. But that's where I probably, well, I did know because I got this question correct, but I probably wouldn't have mentioned it in this video if it wasn't for him putting it in that quiz. The fact that it's a sandwich board piece because it goes over the top and over the back. I would show one here, but it would take too long, and I also don't think I have any. But at home, I definitely do. For instance, Chewbacca's a sandwich board because it goes over the whole body. And so with the sandwich board, considering it goes over the whole body, it hides the body. And considering the legs were off, then you would only see the banana because it hides the body and there's nothing else apart from the head and the body and the banana. So you'd only see the banana. And I gave it these little stick legs, so it was like a proper like banana person instead of just a person wearing a banana suit. And see how I've explained all of that flawlessly, for one. But that shows how original it is. And because I'd already uploaded that, for someone to copy it straight away would be practically impossible. They'd have to like, they might not even have some of the pieces, which is an interesting one. And when you've got Lego, which is so varied, you've got, for instance, you know, different types of sets. So if you mix and match sets, like say weirdly you have Lego Friends, which, you know, it's not weird, like, but it's more the feminine girly sort of brand, which you're allowed to own. Like, I've always seen some of the sets and thought, wow, that's cool, especially the roller coaster one because of all the roller coaster pieces. But for instance, and then if you mix and match that with Lego Star Wars, there's not a lot of people that would have those sets, so they couldn't, you know, they could only create them as soon as, if they wanted to create them straight away and copy that content, they'd have to feasibly have it. And so that would involve them, I guess, at least if they had Amazon Prime, ordering it over a day, but they might not be able to do that. So as you can see, you've already got that speed over them of uploading it straight away. And that's another point where if you hold back your content, make sure it's completed and then put it out. I was worried about making a trailer for something, worrying that about said banana character, because everyone commented like, oh, Banana Lorian, making jokes like that, like the Banana Hunter, Banana Fett, I think was also said, the fact that it's so cool, and that I wanted to make a show for it. But since coming back to university, I sort of scrapped that project, which I definitely planned for. I made a not a trailer, but a poster. And I posted the poster, posted an image of the poster, as in like, yeah, posted an image of the poster on TikTok. And I was sort of skeptical about doing this. I also wanted to make a trailer, but then I thought, if I put a trailer out there, will someone copy this? And so I said to myself, well, if I make the whole thing first, and obviously you should always make the whole thing first before you make a trailer, because one, it gives you stuff as content for the trailer, and also, you know, just there's no guarantee that you'll be able to finish it, i.e. anything. There's no guarantee you'll be able to finish anything. Like a meteor could hit and you won't have done it. That would be the least of your concerns if a meteor hit, because, I don't know, you probably wouldn't even be alive to make it said thing, or then care. If you can care in the afterlife. But, so I was skeptical about putting it out there, and so it's the same sort of thing that if you hold back your content until it's 100% made and then put it out there, there's nothing people that would steal content could do. Like, it's impossible. And just now I've just thought about the example, if you will, if you could call it an example, but how it's illegal to have a phone in movie theaters. Well, turned off turned on. You can't have it turned on, or for instance, you know, like a proper big camera, because you could just video the movie and then put that somewhere, or sell it, and then you're making profit off that product without them knowing. But I guess that's just saying the point of stealing content, isn't it? But so I think I'm basically to the end of that point, that I think, well, not my main point, I keep saying that. Point that I can finish it off with is that I'm putting this video out here as my 2 pence piece on it. But obviously I've only got 22 subscribers and there's no guarantee that people will watch this video. But I will probably likely do it again if and when I have more subscribers, because I feel like it's something that I've got a good say on, and that's something that I've always. That's a reason why, and this will be a subject of another video, not another subject of another video, a subject of another video. That how and it's sort of obvious that having your say is really important, isn't it? Like, imagine if you were in a room, and I'll probably use this analogy, so you'll remember this analogy if and when I make that video and put it in, that if you want to have your say, and say there's a room of like 4 people, and I don't know, they're all wanting to order takeaway, and you know, no one's listening to you, and they just order without you, then that sucks, right? But say if you're, and it's the same goes for the internet, if I put this out here and no one sees it, then, you know, it's quite irritating. I want people to understand this view, because I feel like it would help a lot of people. If anything, I've actually given more useful YouTube advice than a lot of the think big, work smart donkeys out there that just don't say anything useful. But I've just said, you know, hold back your content, blah, 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 and stuff that I think is useful. And so, you know, for instance, right now, if you just teleported me through time, or if you just gave me 1 million subscribers right now, then it would have to be noticed. And then as soon as it's noticed, people would see it, and, you know, so that's the thing that gives me serotonin about getting more viewers, more viewers, more followers and subscribers, and why I was gassed to get 14,000 on TikTok, which I have, which is sort of pointless, as I mentioned before, because not a lot of them actually are recurring followers and in the community of which I make videos about. But I also thought, just before, whilst just walking about and doing TikToks and stuff, that, for instance, if you imagine people are more likely to listen to something that David Dobrik says than something I say as a YouTuber, I guess. That's weird. I don't like calling myself a YouTuber at the moment. But with 22 subscribers, because what does my word mean? Like, and as I always say in videos, like, I'm in no place to give advice out in terms of YouTube and all that. But I feel like I do have good advice. And I'll leave it on that. And once again, I've got my phone on charge, so it can't have gone off charge. I've got storage space, so God forbid it's not recorded, and I've got to remember to jump cut it at the end, which you will already have seen. But that's my rant over, if you will, and I'm just reminding myself to call the video Originality, so you'll see if that's worked. Right, that's the video done. Thanks, guys.